All right, it's new video time. This is Gideon Davenport. Young man, his father posted this on Spin and Throw. And it's always been my contention that if you handed a child a disc, which we see this all the time, he will throw the disc in a rotary fashion, throwing the disc away from the center of his chest. And in a million years, he would never contemplate pulling it in a line across his chest. This is an invention by adults, in my mind. All right, so I just wanted to show that he essentially has all of the top pro elements in his throw, and they are all spin and throw elements. He throws on a big arc. He uses his elbow to create a small arc, which finishes out to the big arc, and he uses a disc pivot, which creates the mini arc, the mini circle. And I'm going to show this. So the first thing he does is he gets this foot off the ground, and now he's on his back foot, and he sends his back trailing side. Look how far he has turned. He has sent this entire side of his body into a twist of his trailing hip. People ask me, how do we get our swing into the tuck to be in a run-up? Well, like this. Now he's doing a 360, so he's kind of faced backwards. But he gets back into the same position. I mean, it's kind of exaggerated. But the reason I like it is because the circle is exaggerated. Okay, so he's on one foot. He's sent his trailing side around. His lead side is out in front of his trailing hip. His hip is set back. And now he's going to take his stride, which is, if this was down the line, he's going to stride this way. Of course, it's 360, so there'll be a lot of rotation. And he's going to bring the disc in from the big circle on the little circle. He's going to bend his elbow, and he's going to end up with the disc going into the tuck. And he's striding, and he's already fired his hip, and his foot barely touched the ground. So his shoulders are closed, but his hips are already firing due to the fact that he started his move with his stride. If you stride toward the target and keep your shoulders closed, you are starting your throw with your lower body. I have repeated this about 15 times. And the way to get your lower body behind your upper body is keep your upper body shut. See how his shoulders are remaining closed, but he's striding toward the target. And while he's doing that, he's bringing the disc into his chest and maintaining his wonderful, look at his 90 degrees to his shoulder joints. And people ask me all the time, well, how do you do spin and throw and not round? Well, you don't bend your elbow joint, and you can't round. It's impossible. So now he sent the disc into his chest. He's already wide opening. He's making no attempt to hold in a line at all. This is totally a rotary motion. Now the disc is in the tuck. His upper arm is at 90 degrees. The disc is come over here, and it would almost touch his left shoulder. His left side is completely collapsed, rotating underneath this post of, he has taken his front foot, you make a line all the way up through his head. It's what Mike Austin called joining the leg through the hip joint to the spine. So now his spine and the hip joint and the leg are like one line, like this. And he's sending this entire side of his body in rotation underneath. This hip is higher than this one. This shoulder is higher than this one. You can't see it yet because it hasn't dropped in. And due to his rotation, it appears higher. It's the same thing you'd see in a golf swing. But this hip is lower, this knee is lower than this knee, and as a result, this knee has to get shorter than this leg. This leg is now shorter. Okay, so he's into the tuck, and now he has completed the arc, this arc inward to the tuck, and now he's going to send it back out to the big circle. And none of this is a cross. It's gone because his elbow is the same. It is a simple hinge around the elbow. And now he's going to send the whole thing. He's facing the disc. It's going to come straight out of his chin, right back to the big arc. His hand is on the other side of the disc, so he can utilize the disc pivot. He's going to take this side of the disc and throw it away from his center of his chest using the pivot point around his hand. It's coming back straight out. And his hand, the disc is behind his hand. Now he's going to take, see this dark part of the disc? He's going to take that part of the disc and throw it around his thumb lock. And also he will be look at that. Look at that. He is still holding on to the disc. The disc has already gone half through the pivot. Let's see if I can back that up just a teeny tiny bit. I wish I could get him to do one where, there we go. Okay, so this part of the disc is now going to swing around this thumb straight out of his chest. He has still got his elbow at 90 degrees. His shoulders are pointed 90 degrees, and the disc is working this way straight out from his chin. The back of the disc will now become the front of the disc. And it's not going over here, folks. It's going over here. He's throwing it out of his chest this direction, and his arm is fully extended, and he still has hold of the disc. He is all the way back out on the big circle. And let's watch what happens now. Oh, there's the completion of the pivot. Did you see it jump forward? You're saying to yourself, oh, that's a little bit. No, this is him getting the disc out from behind his arm, right? The problem is people are pulling across the line. They're getting the disc trapped into this tuck position, and they have to scoop out or pull it over the top to get it out. So he's throwing the disc out to get it out from away from his own hand. The disc has to be expelled. And I would say the leading edge of that disc is almost in front of his arm now. Look at this. Do you see this? It's not back here, folks. It's over here, and he's still got a hold of it. That's the mini circle, the disc pivot. There you go. Now the disc is successfully expelled straight out, so the flight plate will end up being exactly on this plane. It was not curved. It was not curved this way. It was not curved that way. And this is the thing that I'm having a difficult time getting people to understand. The flat flight, the neutral flight of the plate comes from the fact that it is expelled straight out from the center of the body. It will get out from behind your hand all by itself. And that disc he's here, folks, and the disc is over here. These are not on the same line. It never was close. It never was close to his chest. He never pulled it across his chest. It's silly. It's just silly. And his post, he's maintained his post. He's not thrown his spine at all. If anything, he's holding his spine tilted backwards. There you go. Notice how his arm didn't outrace his chest. His chest is exploding from the left side. So now his arm is still caught up. His chest is still caught up. He didn't fling, his arm didn't fling out in front of his chest rotation. He's still caught up. Now it outraces because he's putting on the brakes. And this is all follow through. Let's watch it. Zoop. Zoop. Out to the big circle. Using the little circle and the mini circle. The mini circle expels the disc beyond the little circle. The little circle is the arc of the elbow. There it is. I know adults who would kill to be able to do this. Well, anybody would. I mean, this is just gorgeous. Boom. 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 Look at that. Whack. 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 None of that is linear. It's all rotary. I'm going to stop there. Great video. Great video, Gideon. Awesome. Awesome. I would love to watch you throw in person. I bet it's awesome. Join the Spin and Throw group. Join my Patreon. Patreon Spin and Throw. And if you're in the Tulsa area, I also do in-person lessons and been having a lot of success. And thank you very much. This is Bradley Walker. Everybody have a good day. Thank you.